Alright, I know I wasn't going to do any more updates for a while, but I clearly can't get enough of this place, I guess. I don't know, or I'm a glutton for punishment. But I've started to put in porch rails. I'm leaving this part here open because I've got a cleared out spot in through here, and I got to bring in a stove. So I'm just going to leave that part open until I get a stove rolled up onto the porch. And this part here is open because underneath all this roughage garbage is some concrete stairs. So I'm going to keep those. And so I'm going to do whatever French doors, double doors through here, and have one probably locked in solid, so it's always, you know, I can pop a pin and double it if I need something wide brought in. But yeah, and then I'm thinking I'm probably going to close it in with screen at some point, so that's why I'm going to make this like a double door deal. But this is just old kind of beadboard stuff from the porch, the original porch. It's not in that great a shape. I will probably end up ripping it out and redoing it. So right now it's just kind of a placeholder. You know, you can see some daylight through it. Some of the tongue and groove on it it's been broke out when we tore it down. And it's like part of the 40s to 60s period of the house that it came from, and so the wood quality isn't as high as the original stuff. Yeah, so the backside I haven't painted. I'm almost out of white paint, and I don't want to have to go back to town. So I just painted the one part over on that side, just to see how it would look. I'm still going to put in a piece of molding right on top of that board there, and silicone it in. And that was part of the reasons I put the railing on it, was to stop water from getting into there, snow melt getting in there and then penetrating to the second, because there's just two hardwood floors, one on top of the other, because they were too lazy to pull out the original floor. So I don't want water to get in between those layers. Anyway, and then I have started putting in, the foundation is not meant to be a foundation. This place is all blocked up. It's solid as a rock. The foundation is just there to stop it from being a wind tunnel this winter. And I've gotten part way down, and I've got a hole here for a crawl hole. And then I've got to pull out more of this foundation stuff. I've busted all the concrete and the foundation loose in this section here, and I've still got that little piece there to go. All my scrap I'm cutting up into 12-inch pieces for firewood for my wood cook stove. I pulled it out of the kitchen, and I'm put it on the porch so I can cook outdoors because it's freaking hot and I don't want to fire that thing up inside. So this is all just temporary. Eventually I'm going to put a big like cook station in here. I'm just not around to it, haven't gotten around to it yet. And then these boxes of trim are all going to get stacked for the winter, so I have cooking stove wood for the winter. Yeah. Somebody brought over a toilet that'll go into the tiny house. It's an older one, but it's still functional, so that was a money saver. Clawfoot bathtub. I started stripping it down and putting some paint on the outside of it. They didn't have that originally, but I want it to all be white, so I did that. But yeah, it's getting there. I put in these rafter pieces in here, and they are very obviously canted to the back. But because this is such a low sloping roof, I wanted support in the middle of all this, but because it's such a low slope, if I would have run it level, it would have basically just been right underneath the old one. And so I'm having to canter it in order to get an angle on it for bracing. And then I'll eventually cover it all up with plywood or something. I started doing some plywooding in here. I might have enough to run a strip like that all the way down it, but that's probably about as far as I'll be able to go. But yeah, so that's what I've gotten done so far. As soon as all this gets done and I know where I'm at with things, I can start cleaning out the tiny house room and working on it. So, all right, y'all enjoy yourself. Bye.